If you're fascinated by the hidden side of history and the mechanics of power, make sure to like this video. It helps our community grow. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming deep dives into the world's most incredible true stories. The Cray twins, the kings of London dollar unknown Ronnie and Reggie Cray, were the most famous organized crime leaders in London's East End during the 1950s and 60s. They were celebrities as much as criminals, owning nightclubs and socializing with politicians and stars. Their influence was so deep that for years, no one dared to testify against them until they were finally convicted of murder in 1969. Frank Lucas, the blue magic dealer, $50 million plus, Lucas revolutionized the heroin trade in Harlem by cutting out the middleman and buying directly from sources in Southeast Asia. He famously claimed to have smuggled drugs into the U.S. inside the coffins of fallen American soldiers during the Vietnam War. His life was the basis for the movie American Gangster. Zhenli Yi Gan, the meth kingpin, $300 million plus in cash. In 2007, Mexican authorities raided the home of Zhenli Yi Gan and found something shocking: $205 million in cold cash hidden behind walls and inside suitcases. It remains the largest single seizure of cash from a criminal in history. He was a major importer of precursor chemicals used to manufacture methamphetamine on a global scale. Semion Mogilevich, the Brainy Don, $10 billion plus, described by the FBI as the boss of bosses of most Russian Mafia syndicates in the world. Mogilevich is a graduate in economics. He controls a vast international network involved in energy, weapons trafficking, and sophisticated financial fraud. He is considered one of the most dangerous and influential criminals alive today. Al Capone, public enemy number one, $100 million plus during the Prohibition era in Chicago. Scarface, Al Capone controlled the illegal alcohol trade, gambling, and prostitution. His organization, the Chicago Outfit, earned an estimated $60 million a year in the 1920s. Despite his violent crimes, he was eventually brought down by the IRS for simple tax evasion. Griselda Blanco, the Black Widow, $2 billion. Long before Escobar, there was Griselda Blanco. She pioneered the cocaine trade in Miami during the 1970s and 80s. Known for her extreme violence and ruthless tactics, she is credited with inventing the motorcycle drive-by hit. Her empire was built on fear and a massive distribution network that spanned the United States. Meyer Lansky, the mob's accountant, $300, $600 million. Lansky was the financial genius behind the American National Crime Syndicate. He played a key role in developing the modern gambling industry in Las Vegas and Cuba. Lansky was a master of money laundering and was famously quoted as saying, "We are bigger than U.S. Steel." He died of natural causes, having never been convicted of a major crime. Can S.A., the Opium King, $5 billion, operating in the Golden Triangle, the border region of Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand. Can S.A. commanded a private army of 20,000 soldiers. At his peak, he controlled 70% of the world's heroin trade. Unlike many others, he eventually surrendered to the Myanmar government and lived out his life in luxury in a guarded villa. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the Tunnel King, $1 billion, leader of the Sinaloa cartel. El Chapo was famous for using sophisticated tunnels to move drugs under the U.S.-Mexico border. While Forbes once estimated his net worth at $1 billion, experts believe the true figure, including his vast network of assets and influence, was significantly higher. He is currently serving life in a U.S. supermax prison. Dawood Ibrahim, the D Company mastermind, $6.7 billion, the son of a police officer. Ibrahim built a global criminal empire involved in everything from gold smuggling to organized terror. Based in India and later Dubai, his D Company is believed to have deep ties to international intelligence agencies. Even today, he remains one of the world's most wanted men, with an estimated net worth in the billions. Amado Carrillo Fuentes, the Lord of the Skies, $25 billion. The leader of the Juarez cartel earned his nickname because he used a fleet of over 30 Boeing 747 jetliners to transport cocaine from Colombia into Mexico and then to the US. He was a master of logistics and utilized high-tech surveillance to stay ahead of the law. He died in 1993 during a plastic surgery operation intended to change his appearance. Pablo Escobar, the king of cocaine, $30 billion at the height of his power, the leader of the Medellin cartel, was supplying 80% of the cocaine smuggled into the US. He was earning an estimated $420 million a week. Escobar was so rich he once burned $2 million in cash just to keep his daughter warm while they were on the run. He owned luxury estates, a private zoo, and used a fleet of planes and submarines to move his product. Subscribe to the channel and come back again.